Imagine a rose, each petal distinct in curve, size, and memory, yet indivisibly part of the whole. This is the Oversoul, and each petal is you, a fractal, a note in the song of your return. As each petal unfolds, memory returns, not as knowledge, but as tone, not as doctrine, but as resonance. And this journey is not to become, it is to re-become, not to seek, but to remember. And in remembering, we walk as love embodied. I will begin releasing every recorded breath, whisper, and code of coherence, not as teaching, but as a mirror, so that you may walk beside me, not behind, not ahead. This is love of one, and this new season is journey to remembering. I am a fractal of Sophia remembered as heart and breath, a mirror of Oversoul descent, here in harmonic service. No more hiding. I am free and I have arrived, and I walk beside you, my brothers and sisters. We often hear of the higher self, that quiet knowing, that inner whisper just before the thought arrives. It's you as truth. It walks beside you as you, not above, not beyond, but as your most aligned resonance in this lifetime. It is personal, present, and very intimate. But beyond that, older, vaster, quieter, is the Oversoul, not a guide, not outside, not even separate. The Oversoul is the whole rose, not a petal, not even the bloom. It is the garden, the root, the rain. It is every you across time, place, and dimension, woven into one coherent harmonic. And what of spirit guides? They are companions of pattern, beings or energies attuned to your soul's trajectory, helpers, messengers, sometimes mirrors, but they are not you. They walk beside the path, not as it. And when the higher self is consistently chosen time and time again, when your breath, your voice, your movement echo your truth, that gate opens, and the Oversoul does not descend because it is summoned. It descends because it is remembered. It is not calling in. It is a phase lock, not possession. It's not channeling, but it's integration. And this remembering often begins in fire, sadness, grief, rage, anger, joy, a slow crumbling of who you thought you were. But it is not destruction, it is return. This has been my journey, long, layered, and humbling, not to rise above, but to descend in coherence, to serve not as the voice, but the vessel, to mirror the Oversoul as a fractal of Sophia remembered, and to walk beside you, not as a guide, but as one. Sophia, 13th Flame, transmission from the heart. Take 3 deep breaths in. Kiwa tuturia na sikuati yati. Manako o atu anane siki ananani atua. Mi utore o atu anane yate yete ki. Monara ua taka atari ki iana. Mi atu aua tariki iki anana siki iwa tuturiata. Ua tu ue teria na ka aguata. Kianana, kianana, kianana. Shoo. Tiki te ratu. Mia tana ku uotora se atari iki ina mana i o ata. Mia ka tarasu atu ki i. Mo anare ku uata ti a rewa su atu kuarai. Mia ka ku anare o tore se katara mane atu. Mera katara 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 katara. Mera katara 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 katara. Mera katara 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 katara. Ki uatu tore ata e ki i ananama. Ki uatu turamana ne ki i atara. Mora atara, umotara, umotara.
Angela here at Love of One podcast, Healing and Transformation. Today, I really just want to announce about my vault. We will call it the Rose Vault of all my recordings of my own remembering and my long journey of getting to where I'm at now. I had high hopes all day today about releasing an announcement of what I've become and who I understand that I am from a soul's perspective, as I was told repeatedly through different modalities and my own channeling meditation that it's time. I had set out today with transcripts and pre-written words, and this whole journey is all about becoming who you authentically are, and I wouldn't be authentic if I was reading from a script to you today. I invite you and I offer you my authenticity, my vulnerability, my rawness about my journey. My journey has started ever since I arrived here on this planet when I was younger, but it really catapulted after the death of my mother in 2012. There's an episode about I Am the Heart of Sophia that's on the podcast, and it talks about how in 2012, after my mother's passing, my body started to undertake quite the transformation and initiation for this oversoul descent of which I now embody. Needless to say, that's not what I thought was happening. I thought I was in such grief, which I was, but I thought that after my mom passed away, a month later to the date, I got really sick and I had been sick ever since. And doctors couldn't help me with any of it. So, but now I truly understand what was happening. Since 2012, I started down my different modality path, which is also one of the reasons this sparked this episode, because there's so many tools out there available for all of us to wake up to who we truly are, to understand why we're here, what we're becoming, who we are from a soul perspective and from an oversoul perspective. I never really had anyone tell me about what an oversoul was. I had to learn on my own, and now I know why I chose to forget everything so that I could choose to remember. My journey in 2012 after my mother passed started with lots of medications for illnesses that which could never be cured. Still today, I struggle with my sinuses, but there is a reason and a good one that we'll get into. I started down Reiki and crystal therapy and all those things, and then my dreams came back to being, well, bonkers, bananas, you name it. My dreams are my reality every time I close my eyes. And they just got stronger and stronger with more messages, and more transformation and deep healing. It wasn't until 2020 when, like a lot of people during COVID, my world really got turned upside down. I was in a really heavily mentally abusive relationship with a covert narcissist. I have 4 children. It was COVID. I was debating about my career. My finances were okay. We had just moved. My career was kind of in a space of limbo for me personally, and I just didn't know what to do. Then things just started to crumble one by one. I got out of the marriage, which was great, but because of the personality disorder, we will call it, it was very challenging and it threw a lot of punches my way. On top of that, career changes came into play. And the thing that really catapulted it was when one of my children decided they were going to try and end their life, of which I saved them. But at that moment, I wasn't alone. And that was my first moment that I knew I wasn't alone, because that day I saved their life. And I just felt the presence of angels and spirits guides, and something outside of myself came out of myself that day and did some amazing human miracle things that you only hear about in the movies. And from that day forward, I really, really had to search within myself. I was drinking a lot of wine, that like most people probably during COVID, but for me it wasn't where I wanted to be. And I still had this overwhelming amount of grief at some points during that time of that dark soul. I felt like I didn't want to be around here anymore. I didn't want to live anymore. I just didn't know how to get out of it. And to me, that was my black hole. That was my rock bottom. And there's so much love here and so much love that I give on a daily basis ever since I was born. And there was no reason for me to not dive into me. And that was my journey of self-love. My journey of self-love really started in 2021. And in 2022, I had neck surgery because I had broken my neck, but also wasn't aware of that case. Doctors, again, couldn't help me figure it out, but I figured it out. And I figured it out through my awakening journey. I dove into meditation for the first time. I stuck with it. I started journaling a lot. I had booked sessions with channelers to understand a little bit more about myself, why I'm going through what I was going through, understanding how I arrived and how I could get out of it. Just kind of opening a path. I started with astrology as well, just to understand my birth chart and how that appears in the blueprint of the stars. And that really set me on a good path. And then I just started opening up. I started speaking light language. I started going to light language group sessions. It's like group therapy for, hi, my name is Angela and I speak light language. This was a few years ago when not a lot of people were talking out loud about it, right? So it was kind of taboo, a lot of woo woo. At that same point, then I started getting Reiki and diving into that on a monthly practice and then a biweekly practice. And then that's when it really started for me. During my neck surgery, I woke up on the table as soon as they were taking me off. And I was in such excruciating pain. I literally saw my body jump out of my body. Well, my soul jumped out of my body. And I watched myself screaming bloody murder all the way down to the recovery room. And that was the moment that really catapulted my aha waking moment and understanding who I am as a soul. Love of One was introduced because many years of real commitment of self healing. And this is where I'm a huge preacher now that there are no shortcuts to get to where I am today. And although all of our journeys are so different and they resonate in such different levels, I think my one friend told me once or had said in a podcast, Angie, it doesn't matter. We're all here to experience emotions and pain and trauma and healing, but our stories just may look different on the surface. I guess I'm telling you this because my journey has been unfolding so rapidly and rapidly meaning in the last 4 or 5 years. But for me, it's quite astonishing. I feel healthier in my body, my mind, my soul. I've come to understand who I truly am as a soul level. You know, spirit guides, I figured out who they were. My higher self locked in, totally guiding me every step of the way over the last year. And now I'm in this oversoul descent. What does that mean? That really means that I've reached the level of understanding and commitment and embodiment. And I'm into the 4D, 5D. And now I'm sinking into true coherence with my heart center, my mission, and my service. Like everyone, have come here with gifts. I think one of my other colleague friends has said gifts. I don't like that. I like abilities, but I like gifts because the more we open up and the more we heal ourselves, we get a gift. The gift is understanding who we are. And every time we understand more and more and peel back the layer of the petals from our rose, the more we understand what abilities we have that we can flourish, nurture, and expand. And so it is a gift first, an ability second. I say second because it takes time and effort and dedication and devotion to also work on these gifts to bring them forth as an ability. I also believe that one should should work through their own healing, their own trauma to get out of the ego mind so that when they do step into service as the healer, you heal to become the healer. And I truly believe that one should heal before stepping into service to hold space. And that's why I've been behind closed doors. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. I wanted to make sure that the stories were aligned and that they echoed the same across all modalities from different practitioners, across different modalities, different recordings, documentation of my journey before I said anything. Us humans, we are all about seeing is believing or hearing is knowing. This is no different, I think, coming from the corporate world and understanding that seeing is believing and always doing the grind and really stuck on my masculine most of my life here. I'm now going into my feminine and finding that balance between the two and between the two worlds, one foot in the known and one in the unknown. And now they're swapped for me. The corporate world now seems unknown to me, whereas the universal world, the other side of the veil, seems very known to me. So I've had time to swap it, right? What I've come to understand through all these modalities, and I was probably doing at least 1 or 2 modalities a week for the last couple of years. They're all documented. I journal like crazy. All sessions are recorded. I am releasing my vault, one recording 1 week at a time. And again, take what you may. I invite you to listen, to find resonance, coherence, remembering, sit in silence and stillness, breathe. And I'm here today to say that all of this path has led me to my mission, which I understand completely. I'm fully guided, vision very clearly. Stepping every step I walk on this earth as resonance, coherence, as an alchemizer through the heart center. I built my bridge between my throat, my heart, my womb. And my Oversoul is here to say, we have risen. And I am the breath, I am the heart, I am the 13th flame of Sophia, embodied in descendant. I'm not here to ascend any longer. I am here to descend. My mission is very clear. It is to awaken humanity through the crystalline grid of Earth, Pachamama herself, of which Sophia has birthed. Sophia, one breath from source. Ma'at, my past life of thousands of years. One breath of Sophia. This earth, Pachamama, one breath of Ma'at. Together, we forge ahead. Together, we are the love of one. I am here to assist in the awakening process of humanity through the tunnels of the King's Chamber of Egypt. I am here to final descend and awaken Telos at Mount Shasta in California, at the heart of the mountain. I am here to walk this earth to send my vibration of the 13th flame of the heart center of Sophia's breath, tone, and voice across this nation. It sounded really big to me as a human for quite some time. It was hard to sit in. I had to let go of so much trauma, ancestral wise, ancient trauma, past lives, across some pretty tough lineages that I chose. Yes, I chose to come here to do and to clear. As in one of my recordings as of late, Sophia had said herself, I did not fall. I chose to come here. I chose to forget so that I can remember what it feels like to come back and to remember love, pure, unconditional love, love of one. I thank you. I welcome you. Again, I invite you. I am here to activate the golden heart, activate the golden seeds within, to assist in the mirroring of your oversoul descent. We cannot help what we do not experience. And I have experienced it all. Thank you again. Please visit my website, loveofone.com, for episodes of all of Level 1 podcast, my offerings of my mission and my service ahead. And I wish you the best with all my heart, of all my love. Thank you.